Greetings, mortals, Luther here. Welcome to another episode of Tapes of the Lost, Seekers of the Shadowed and the Strange. Tonight, we set sail to the desolate reaches of the North Atlantic, to a cluster of isles shrouded in enigma and dread. In the year 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers vanished without a trace from the remote Flannan Isles, leaving behind a mystery that has haunted the annals of maritime lore. Prepare yourselves for a journey into isolation, madness, and the unfathomable depths of the unknown. This is the tale of the Flannan Isles mystery.
The Flannan Isles, also known as the Seven Hunters, are a remote archipelago situated approximately 20 miles west of the Isle of Lewis in Scotland's Outer Hebrides. These islands, particularly Eilean Mor, the largest of the group, have long been enveloped in an aura of mystery and superstition. Named after St. Flannan, a 7th century Irish bishop and abbot, Eilean Mor is home to the ruins of a chapel dedicated to the saint, suggesting that these islands were once sites of religious pilgrimage. However, their steep cliffs, treacherous waters, and isolation have deterred permanent habitation. Local fishermen often avoided the area, and shepherds who brought their flocks to graze would never stay overnight, fearing the malevolent forces said to inhabit the land. In the late 19th century, the Northern Lighthouse Board recognized the need for a lighthouse on Eilean Mor to aid navigation through these perilous waters. Construction began in 1896 under the supervision of engineer David Allen Stevenson, a member of the renowned Stevenson family, who were responsible for many of Scotland's lighthouses. Completed in 1899, the Flannan Isles Lighthouse stood 75 feet tall atop 200-foot cliffs, its light visible for miles around. Manned by a team of 4 keepers working in rotation, the lighthouse was intended to be a beacon of safety amidst the treacherous seas. By December 1900, the team consisted of James Duckett, the principal keeper, Thomas Marshall, the second assistant, Donald MacArthur, an occasional keeper filling in for a sick colleague, and Joseph Moore, who was on shore leave at the time. On December 15, 1900, the steamer Archtor, en route from Philadelphia to Leith, noted in its log that the Flannan Isles light was not operational during adverse weather conditions. This absence of light was unusual and concerning, as the lighthouse had been a reliable guide through these hazardous waters. Upon arriving in port, the crew reported the outage to the Northern Lighthouse Board. Due to severe storms, the relief vessel Hesperus was unable to set sail immediately and only reached the island on December 26th. As the Hesperus approached Eilean Mor, the crew observed an unsettling stillness. There was no flag flying, no provision boxes on the landing stage, and most disturbingly, no welcoming party of keepers. Captain James Harvey sounded the ship's whistle and fired a flare, but received no response. Joseph Moore, the relief keeper, was sent ashore to investigate. He found the entrance gate and main door closed, beds unmade, and the clock stopped. A set of oilskins was discovered, indicating that one of the keepers had ventured out without this essential protective clothing. There was no sign of the men inside the lighthouse or anywhere on the island. On December 29th, Robert Muirhead, the Northern Lighthouse Board superintendent, who had personally recruited the missing men, arrived to conduct an official investigation. He noted that the damage to the west landing was difficult to believe unless actually seen, with iron railings bent, a box 33 meters above sea level broken, and a rock weighing more than a ton displaced. Muirhead concluded that Duckett and Marshall had likely gone to secure equipment during a storm, with MacArthur possibly joining them in a rush, leaving the lighthouse unattended in breach of regulations. He surmised that all three were swept away by a massive wave. Despite Muirhead's conclusions, the lack of concrete evidence led to widespread speculation. Some suggested that a sea serpent or giant bird had taken the men. Others proposed that they had been abducted by foreign spies or had left voluntarily to start new lives. Supernatural explanations also emerged, with tales of malevolent spirits or the phantom of the seven hunters being responsible. Over time, embellished accounts surfaced, including fictitious log entries describing severe storms, unusual behavior among the keepers, and a final entry stating, "Storm ended, sea calm. God is over all." These entries have been debunked as later fabrications. More than a century has passed since the disappearance of James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur, yet their fate remains one of maritime history's most enduring mysteries. But what really happened on Island Moor that fateful December? Some theories suggest that a rogue wave, a freak occurrence of the sea, swept all three men away. But if that were true, why had one of them left behind his rain gear, exposing himself to the elements? Others believe the men turned on each other, driven to madness by the isolation and the ever-present roar of the waves. But what if the old legends are true? What if something ancient and malevolent still haunts the Flannan Isles, as the fishermen long feared? What if the chapel ruins held a warning, not a place of worship?
Ah, the Flannan Isles. A place where the line between the real and the unreal blurs. 3 men vanished into the abyss, leaving behind only questions and whispers on the wind. Did the sea claim them? Did something else? Or were they simply never meant to be found? Perhaps we will never know. Until next time, dear listeners, stay vigilant, for even the brightest beacons cannot keep the darkness at bay forever.